This is Walt Disney World Today. Give us 5 minutes and we'll give you the world.
It's Friday, March 23rd, 2007, and this is episode 234 of Walt Disney World Today. I'm Matt Hodgford from mgmstudios.org. On the show today, we have the lovely Annette Owens of Mouse Fan Travel. Welcome, Annette.
Thanks for having me back again. Thanks.
There you go. That said it right there. Also lovely is Mike Newell of Mouse World Radio. Welcome, Mike.
I was waiting for you to go there.
Me too.
Sorry.
Okay, you started something now.
No. See, I gotta keep everyone's ego in check. So
Me too.
the
Me too.
very super Mike Scopa of MousePlanet.com. Welcome, Mike.
Super. It worked. And they laughed at me back at the university. Maybe it was because of the tutu. Well, you doubting autonomous. You ready to make some history?
The Timekeeper.
Muppets.
The Timekeeper.
Timekeeper. I can do my TTA voice. On today's show, we're talking about refurbishments that are coming to Walt Disney World over the span of the next 6 months or so. There's a lot of interesting rehabs and closures that are going on at Walt Disney World. Some of them more notable than others, and we're going to be talking about them. We'll talk about some of the interesting ones that are coming up. Let's actually start with one that's coming out of rehab, that's been in rehab for a while, and that's of course El Rio del Tiempo at the Mexico Pavilion in Epcot. And this attraction is going to be very interesting because it was before the River of Boredom, and now they're trying to put something in there. In this case, it's going to be called the Grand Fiesta Tour, starring the three Calabreos, which will be interesting, I'm sure.
Calabreos?
Calabreos.
Caballeros? I'm not...
Caballeros.
Can you tell I took
Senor
French in high school? Caballeros.
Three caballeros.
Yeah, Steve Medina is rolling over right now in his seat.
Wasn't me, Steve. Wasn't me.
So, this attraction, do you have like any kind of anticipation for this? Is this like, this should be cool, or is it like
anything's better than what it was, Matt? The River of Boredom was there for such a long time. I believe it's supposed to open late next week sometime, April 1st, I think.
It's supposed to open on April 2nd. As bad as it was, I really like the music, especially the second half, like in the Small World part. It was it was a good track. Whenever it came on Mouse World Radio, that was like that was a good track right there. I enjoyed it. And did you enjoy the old one, or are you actively? Did you like the old one? Or are you looking forward to the new one?
Yeah, I think a little change would be great there.
I just don't know.
It was pretty boring.
Yeah, I applaud them for doing something different. It's always good. It's good to see them trying to reinvest themselves. But the film that they're basing it off of, first of all, I've never even seen it. I can't imagine any kids have any idea who the other two characters are unless they went swimming in the All-Stars. Which one is it? Music or Sports that has those characters in the pool over there? One of them has it. I don't know. But one of them, unless you've seen them, like, I really can't say that. I want to see one kid go, oh, look, it's... What are their names? I don't even know.
It's been a long time since those characters appeared. The last time they appeared in an attraction was the Mickey Mouse Revue way back in the 70s and 80s at the Magic Kingdom in Fantasyland. So it's been a long time since those three characters have been around. And it's funny because remember when Epcot first opened, we heard, well, you won't find any characters in Epcot. Now that's all we're seeing now is more and more characters.
Yeah.
I see that the video will be coming out of the vault soon, so we can try to push the three.
Oh, right. The
three characters.
Yeah. I guess it would make sense for them to do that, and it would make even more sense for them to sell the video after the rides. Be like, oh, let's go look at the video of what we just saw because we didn't know who they were. So that's an attraction that's coming out of rehab, and it's probably that one, of course, is going to be ending soon. But there are a number of attractions that we're going to focus really on attractions that are going into rehab. And the first one that really, the big one, the big fish here is, of course, the Haunted Mansion. And the Haunted Mansion is really it's going to be a long rehab. It's going to be closed from June 6th through September 13th. And this is, first of all, it's closing for a long time. Second of all, it's closing during the summer months, which is for such a popular attraction for so long in such a popular time. It's kind of. Did this shock anyone else?
Well, it doesn't shock me because it's been planned for a long time, Matt. Because what they really would like to do is they really would like to put that Haunted Holidays, the Nightmare Before Christmas overlay in there, and I think that they ran into some problems when they wanted to do that several years ago. They realized that the electrical wiring in there is so outdated that they just didn't have enough power. So I think that's why I expected it when it was going to happen. It would happen for several months because it's going to take a while for them to do that. I've heard that they may be actually changing a few things in there. One change may be that Madame Leota will be floating, or the crystal ball may be floating, and there may be a few other things that I've heard that may happen, but I'm not too sure about the others. The Madame Leota thing may be a sure thing, though. We'll see.
Well, and then the opening of it. I mean, if it's going to open up mid-September, it's right in time for the Halloween season, for all the not so scary parties and that kind of thing. So the timing's perfect for it to open up right there.
You're right in that. It may take that amount of time to get it ready for that. So maybe that's a possibility. Although I haven't heard anything, solid regarding that. But my ears are open, ready for that.
One thing that I thought about when they announced the closure dates is that perhaps because they're closing it during the summer, it's because they don't think that it would have been able to handle being open during such a busy time of the year in terms of all the things that are quote unquote wrong with it, the issues they have, and so thus it requires a preemptive rehab before it, because it's been, especially among Haunted Mansion fans, it's noted that the Walt Disney World's Haunted Mansion is in dire need of a major rehab. So perhaps my initial thought was that it wouldn't be able to handle the crowds. They couldn't wait for September and then close it down until just before Thanksgiving.
Yeah, maybe it was just begging to be closed. And I mean, I know that the Doom buggies were having issues for the last 2 or 3 years. So you may be right, Matt. They were saying, hey, we can't handle this summer. We might as well close it before the crowds start coming and take care of business.
Oh yeah, and of course in the fall it gets even more popular because of Halloween. Then you get a lot of a lot more people that are coming there because of the connection to the holiday and what have you. That one is it'll be interesting to see what they're going to do with that, because it's not just going to be closing it to fix things. Like you said, Mike, there's a lot of speculation that you're going to have the Haunted Mansion overlay or some of the other visual elements that you see at some of the other Haunted Mansions around the world.
Mm-hmm.
So it'll be pretty interesting to see that. Another rehab one that's another major one is the Teppanyaki restaurant in Epcot in the Japan Pavilion is going to be going down from April 15th through August 25th. And it is important to note that the rehab has been actually rescheduled several times and may change again. I remember, Annette, when I had met you for dinner that one night, and you would tell me, "Well, let's go to Teppanyaki." I thought in the back of my head, I was like, "Isn't it closed?"
Yeah, it was supposed to have been, but we got to go in there and enjoy.
Yeah. Another lengthy closure. And this is I know, Annette, it's one of your favorite restaurants in World Showcase. I know it's one of mine. So this is really, this isn't like, if Nine Dragons closed, big deal, who?
Right.
Hey.
But
Right.
but this is a major one. It's a high capacity restaurant, and it's just a really fun restaurant. So if you're going down between April and basically September, you're going to be out of luck over there.
Unless they push it back again.
Yeah, because it was originally going to be closed from January 15th to May 25th, and then they moved it back from March 11th to July 14th. So, it's to me, if they're pushing it back like this, obviously it's not like, I don't think it's like the Haunted Mansion where the thing's going to fall apart. I think they just want to retool it, perhaps, clean everything up, make it look all nice. But I guess demand is keeping it open, huh?
It must be. It must be. But, they're going to have that, and then Alfredo's going and closing down as well. Kind of, right, is that maybe opening it back up? I don't know.
Yeah, it's a good segue right there, Annette. Thank you. Going to Alfredo's in Italy, in Epcot, is also going to close, and this one is going to be a permanent closure Does anyone have the date for the closure on? It's in July, isn't it?
What are we talking about? We're talking
Alfredo's.
Alfredo. I thought they
Alfredo's.
had moved it back, but
It-
August, I thought. I thought it was
August,
late
I thought.
August.
Late
Yeah,
August.
August. I want to say August 28th, but I'm not sure. I know it's the last week in August. Sometime one of the last 5 days in August. It's closing.
Yep, at the end of August.
Yep.
And it's going to be replaced by something. We don't know what. There was a lot of concern that it was going to be the Olive Garden or something equally terrible, like like they have with Rainforest Cafe, which Scopa loves.
Well, there is a restaurant in New York City called Scopa. So maybe,
oh,
just
there
maybe,
we go.
we'll really have a Scopa special.
It'll be pretty easy. All they have to do is take the picture down of Alfredo, put Scopa's picture up, and bam, you're done.
There you go.
Are you guys?
Scopa.
Well,
What did you guys think of Alfredo's? Did you like it? Are you sad to see it go?
it's hit or miss. It was always hit or miss when I went there. If you talk to all the great Italians like Lou Mangello, he'll also tell you that Italian restaurants to Italians are it's like Papa cooked better, So it was always hit or miss when I went to Alfredo's. I'm not really gonna cry over it.
I enjoyed it. I went there on my last trip, and I had a great dish. I thought I had a lasagna, and it was really great. It was one of those kinds of dishes that honestly, the next couple of days, I was thinking, can I go back to do they have takeout at Epcot? Can I go back and get it? It was that kind of a meal, and I really enjoyed it. Whereas the times before that, I think I was in agreement with you, Scopa. That it wasn't wonderful by any means. So I'm just concerned. What I'm more concerned about is something worse coming in there. It's better to know what's that phrase? It's better to have the monster than the one you don't.
Yep. Better
Yep.
to know the evil, something like
devil
that.
you
Something like that. Yeah,
Whatever
we're not-
you said.
We're not articulate by any means. So I mean, that's my concern is that we're gonna get something like a Nine Dragons over there,
Hey.
and it's. I mean, that would just be
Papa Gino's.
Papa Dragons.
Oh gosh.
The Olive
Papa
Dragon.
Dragons. Papa Alfredo's.
Now, when you make Annette, you make advanced dining reservations for your clients. Have you started getting people like we like to eat in Italy, and it's like, oh, can't do that.
That hasn't happened yet. I've had quite a few people going, we haven't ever wanted to actually eat there, but now that we hear it's closing,
Oh, evidently
we want
only
to go
Newell.
try it.
Oh no, that's China. Never mind. Just
Hey,
kidding.
Here's something I just thought of. We did know that I believe that the Alfredo's was not. I'm not sure if they were on the dining plan for this year or not. I don't recall. But the question is, will the replacement restaurant be on the dining plan
Oh, good
this
point.
year? That's something that I think everyone would be interested in.
That's another good point. There's another closure. There's a lot of closures in Epcot coming up. You've got Maelstrom. It's going to be closed from April 30th to May 24th. That's almost a month-long closure. Given that's a little less than a month, I don't think they're going to be retooling that by any means. Probably just cleaning it and that kind of general maintenance.
I heard they're replacing the film at the end.
I've never stayed for it. I always run through it.
Yeah.
If those doors are open, baby, I'm running for it.
I'm
right.
through, yeah. Saw it one time, and that was enough.
Or I don't think I've ever seen it once. I just in Norway, they
a
have
great
lots
movie.
of things in Norway. Just
Well, there goes all the Norwegian listeners. we have.
all our Norwegian contingent gone.
Just lost the Baltic states. Oh well. Too bad.
I've heard the video on Mouse World. That's enough for me.
I actually tried to sit and wait for the movie, but I honestly, we sat there and waited a good 20 minutes, and I said, you know what, I'm leaving. I'm not going to wait this long for the film to start. People are actually
Really?
getting...
There's that long of a wait.
Yeah.
I've always run through for fear of being caught in there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no.
yeah.
I sat down, I figured, let me catch it one more time, and we sat and sat and sat, and I said, you know what, I'm not going to sit here all day and wait for the film.
There's a good camera shop to go to. I'm not wasting
That's
my time here.
right. Is Nine Dragons open?
Actually, Nine Dragons is closing from
Hey.
July 15th to November 11th.
That's my birthday. It's going to be open on my birthday. Awesome.
November 11th.
Yes.
Maybe it reopens
Road trip.
on 12th.
Road trip.
Road trip.
To Nine Dragons. It's okay.
I'll go.
Egg rolls on me, Newell.
That's right.
I will not have any love lost. I ate there for candlelight processional, not in 2005, and it was okay. It was expensive, and it was by no means anything. The Chinese food we've got over here in Newell, in the New York and New England, is so much better and cheaper.
True.
So I guess I just didn't see a compelling reason to eat there. Certainly, if I'm going to go to eat at Nine Dragons, you've got actually no, that just reopened. Mike Scopa, what's another attraction that's going down for rehab?
Well, not necessarily going down, but there are some changes coming up that, well, actually, the Video Globe for Illuminations is scheduled to go down sometime this year, and I heard last night from few sources that they plan to possibly even change the show this year, and I don't know what that means. I hope that does not mean music is going to be changed. I'm guessing that some of the pyros and some of the lighting and the water effects are going to be changed. So that's going down sometime this year. I don't know when, but that's going to make a difference. I've heard that they're going to replace the Video Globe with some special elements so that we won't notice that much of a difference. But let's face it, that's a big part of the show. So that's another quote refurbishment or area that's going down. There are some things that are going down for a very short time, and there are going to be some enhancements made too, Matt. Like the Spaceship Earth, the post show in Spaceship Earth, that's going to be opening up sometime in the next month with a new area. So as you get off Spaceship Earth, there will be some hands-on things to do. So that's something that's kind of neat. Canada is going to have a new film sometime this year, and there's a new segment that will be added to the American Adventure Golden Dream film. 45 seconds, that's what I've heard. 45 seconds are going to be added. I don't know what it is, but it's going to be 45 seconds. So if you come up with an idea as to what they can do with 45 seconds, maybe you've got a shot at guessing
September
what's
11th.
happening.
Maybe they're going to add a September 11th piece.
I don't know. Boy, I don't know if I don't know.
Mm.
I don't know.
There are a number of other rehabs going down in the next 6 months, although those are kind of there's a lot of short ones, and we don't have time to kind of go through all of those. I'll put a link in the show notes to some places you can go look and see when things are going to be closed or not, as there are certainly those 1 or 2 weekend disrupt just your trip, which is of course enough to bother somebody.
Right.
So you definitely want to be aware of that. Anything else on that looks of notoriety that we should mention?
I don't think that. Trying to think if there's anything going on in MGM. That was always. I'm always looking for things to happen in MGM, but
No, there's just Pizza Planet Arcade is closing from May 7th to 19th, so no video games for Newell when he goes over there, and that's really it. There's nothing else planned. There's Rock and Roller Coaster. At some point, they're going to have to do a rehab to complete the work they did and reopen that single rider line. Although I haven't heard anything. When they redid the work, I heard it was going to happen in March. Obviously, it's not happening this month. So at some point, they're going to do it. And what I mean, if you're not familiar with that, I'll put a link in the show notes to more information about it. But really, what it is they're adding a single rider line, and at this point, they kind of did half the work and stopped. So they need to obviously finish that job. So at some point, I would expect another rehab to occur to finish that work, although I don't have or heard of any dates related to that.
And the only other thing I can add is the only other thing that I've heard, and I don't know when this will happen, is that sometime within the next year we may see Space Mountain going down for an extended period as they convert it to rocking Space Mountain, like out in Disneyland. I don't know when that's going to happen, but I'm guessing it's going to be down for a long time.
There you go. So I think that's about it for today. If you want to find our older episodes, read our show notes, or send us your comments, you can visit the Walt Disney World Today website at wdwtoday.com. You can also email us at questions@wdwtoday.com. For Line Test, Mike Spoke on Mike Newell, and the lovely Annette Owens. I'm Matt Hochberg. We'll see you on the next show.
Tune in to Mouse World Radio on Sunday, March 25th from 7 to 9 Eastern for a special episode of Walt Disney World Today Live. Deb Wills, the founder of AllEarsNet.com and co-author of Passporters Walt Disney World for Your Special Needs, will spend the entire show with the gang. It's your chance to call in and speak with Deb on a very special live edition of Walt Disney World Today, Sunday, March 25th at 7 Eastern, only on Mouse World Radio.